Here we go. Now, here in just in a minute, we're going to split up into some groups, and so with four-part harmony, and we'll do that in just in a minute. But before we do, we're going to get started over here, and then we'll sing a couple songs. Now, just a refresher here. I always like to review just a little bit. So, what is the treble clef? What's another name for it? Yes. G clef. Why G clef? What does that tell you? Yes. That's right. It tells you where G is located. That's correct. F clef. Also, what's another name for F clef? Bass clef. What does it tell you?
Where the F is.
Tells us where F is located. That's right. Correct. What are lines above or below the staff called? Mm-hmm. Ledger lines. That's correct. Okay. Good. Now remember, does anybody know your acronym for the treble clef? Of naming the absolute pitch names on the staff? Sorry? Every good boy deserves fudge. That's correct. What about the spaces? Face. Bass clef. What is the bottom line?
Good boys deserve fudge always.
There you go. Good boys deserve fudge always. Spaces are? All cows eat grass. That's correct. Good. All right. Now this morning we talked about the shape notes here. Now, I will be using the board, so if you cannot see it to where you can, I'm going to divide you up, and I'm going to bring everybody up here in just in a minute, so to get you out of your comfort zone. So we talked about these shapes. I'm going to move them over so we can make sense of it. Now, the shapes, whether we have them on the staff or just written out, they work the same way. Of course, back to do. All right. Now, I want to sing this scale. Now, I'm going to give you a note. Somebody tell me what it is. That's do. Okay. Does anybody know what the absolute pitch is? Close. Sorry? You're very, very close. Say again? C. It is correct. All right, somebody tell me what this is. Close. Anybody know what? Sorry? T? It was? Okay. All right, how about this one? In absolute pitch names. A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. No. No. Now what am I doing? I'm checking to see if anybody can name those with perfect pitch. So I don't have perfect pitch. I wish I did. Okay. But you can get pretty close. Okay. But there's some people that just, they can name it out. Just like that. Okay. Yes. Uh-huh.
She played and sang all the way up and down the scale while she was young until the choir director could say, give me up, and she could do it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, absolutely. Yes, and you can reference yourself. See what he was doing there just a second ago. He said T. Now, you know why he did that? Because he heard where G was at. Okay, so because he heard G and then he worked up the scale until he found that note. So a reference point for me is C. So if I know where C is, watch. Let me show you something. This is unbelievable how God did this. Okay, everybody sing that note. Ready? Now just on ah. Everybody sing ah. Now I want you to go up the scale with me just on ah, okay? And I'm going to point. Ready, go. Now, how did you do that? How did your brain do that? Did you know that there is a note here? There is a note here, but there's not a note here. All I can say is God. Is that God put something in your brain to be able to sing a major scale just like you just did, without hitting the note that's here, or a no note here. There's not a note in between. Now I'm going to prove that in just in a minute. But anybody can sing a major scale if you really want to. It's built in. Okay? Let's sing that again. Ready? On do. Ready? Now this time sing do, re, mi. I'll write them up here for you. This is do, re. Okay? Got your note? Let me hear it. Now, what if we just ended right there? Oh, you're like, no, you got to keep going, right? Yeah, because T is what we call a leading tone. It leads you somewhere, which is home, which is right here. Yeah, it's off the board. Yes, very good. You do that over and over and over, and you got it. It's just that simple, okay? With do, re, mi's. Now, you have a paper there that we're going to look at here in just in a second. But before we do that, I want you to know a couple of things. First off, somebody tell me what this is. How'd you know it was a flat? Looks like a B to me. Yeah? It's not three-dimensional. Okay. So, somebody tell me what a flat does. It lowers it a half step. Well, you are not answering a few questions here. What's a half step?
The black keys between the weights.
Between
The black key between the two notes and the weight.
Okay, so you're referring back to the keyboard. So that's where you're getting it from. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. You told me earlier that the keyboard is 88 keys. Is the keyboard made of whole steps or half steps? What would you say? Who says whole steps? Raise your hand. Who says half steps? You're correct. It's all half steps. From one note to the next is a half step. All the way up, all the way down. So if you look here at our keyboard, from here to here is a half step. From here to here is a half step. Now, if we go from here to here, that's a half plus a half is what? One whole step. Does everybody see that? Now, know that the keyboard is all half steps. You can create whole steps. You can create a step and a half. 2 steps, whatever it may be. Now, when you come here, D to E is a whole step because you have a black note in between. What about right here? From E to F. Why is that a half step? There's not a note in between. Remember, from one note to the next is a half step, always. So from E to F is a half step. How about from B to C? Half step. Okay, all half steps. So when I take a note, say I have a note, whatever it may be, and I put a flat on it, what does it do to that note? It lowers it a half step. So, say if I have E, flat, okay? I want it to be E flat. So do I sing, or do I go to the keyboard and do I go here? No, I would not play E or sing E. I would sing E flat. So, if this is E flat, I have to lower a half step. Lower is going this way. Raising is this way. Remember? We talked about this morning. So E flat is located right there. Is everybody with me on that? Okay. So would you agree that E and E flat sound different? Yes, a half step apart. Okay. Now, we also have this. What is this called? This is not tic-tac-toe. 3 in a row. Okay. Or a hashtag, yes, in modern day society. Okay. No, this is a sharp. What does a sharp do to a note? It raises a half step. Okay, so say if we have, I don't know, you pick one. Say A. We have A. And we want to raise it up a half step. You put a sharp here. A sharp. A sharp. Do y'all see that? Okay, because we just moved it a half step. Let me ask you this question. What is D sharp? Sorry? D sharp is E flat. It's the same note. Do y'all see it? Look, some of y'all don't see it. D sharp, E flat. Same exact note. This is in music, this is called enharmonic spelling. It's kind of like in English, we have K-N-O-W and N-O. What do they say? No. Spelt differently, but sound exactly the same. We have that all over the place. We have that all over the place. What if you have A sharp equals B flat? Is that a true statement? Yeah. What if we have B sharp equals what? C. Y'all see it? B sharp equals C. What about C flat equals what? B. And it's all over the place. Okay? You're going to see that all over the place. Because the keyboard, all of the black keys technically have 2 names. Okay? And technically, all of the white notes have 2 names. If you really want to look at it that way. Just like we had right here. That can be B sharp. Y'all following me? Yep. Because of the half step rule. Sharps and flats. Okay. All right, good. Let's see here. Let's talk a little bit about any questions about this before I move on. I'm gonna mention this one thing, and then I'm gonna move off of. These are considered accidentals. Okay, they're not an accident when they happen, but they are accidentals. Okay, sharps, flats, and there's one more that I'm going to talk about today. It's called, does anybody know what that is? Natural. It's a natural sign. What does a natural do to a note? Yes, takes it back to its original tone. I always say that a natural removes. Okay. It takes away whatever's on that note. So it takes it back to its natural position. Let me show you something. These, all the white notes, are all natural. Those are all the natural notes. So if you have a note like, say, F sharp, which is here, and then I'm going along singing here, but I want to go back to F. How would I get back to F? Put a natural on it. F natural. Well, where's F natural located? Right there. F natural, G natural, A natural, B natural, C natural, D natural, and so on. Okay? That's what the natural is doing. It's bringing you back to its original note. Everybody with me? Okay, good. Good. Let's look now. We're going to do some singing in just in a minute with that piece of paper that you have. Singing 4 parts. Everybody got do, re, mi's memorized? I didn't give you very long to do it, but somebody tell me what this is. Whole note. What does that mean? 4 counts in one measure. Okay, so y'all know what measures are. A measure of music. Your song has scores of music, and those scores are broken down into measures, small little sections. So inside of this measure, I need 4 beats. Okay, 4. Now that can be cut up in a variety of ways, whatever kind of notation that you have. Every song's different. Okay, there's some similarities in each song, but it's all different at the same time. So what I want you to know is this is a whole note, and this whole note value is 4. Now how many notes do I have up here? How many? There's only one note. And what is it? Whole note. How many beats does it get? 4. Now, what's the difference of, what is tempo? Speed. It's how fast or how slow. The value of a whole note is still 4. Get that in your brain. The value of the whole note is still 4, even though I go fast or even though I go slow. That is not, the value there is not the tempo. Okay? So watch, let me illustrate. That's the tempo. Now here's another tempo. See, one's fast, one's slow. Now I want to count this. Okay? Somebody in this section over here volunteered to count a whole note. Can y'all see? I'm sorry.
Do what I teach my kids.
Okay.
Whole note, hold it.
Okay. All right. So there you go. Okay. Anybody else over here? Want to count a whole note? Okay. Ready? Go. So she says, for 4 counts, 1. Okay. Now, piano teachers, you're a piano teacher, I can tell. Piano teachers will count out everything. Okay? And that's okay. That's all right. But for vocalization and counting in here, you're going to count that one note. So this would be 1, and I'll show you an example of why here in just a minute. 2 is inside there, 3 is inside, and 4 is inside this note. Does that make sense? So you're going to hold that one note for 4 beats. So it's going to be 1. All right, let's take it down another step. This is a half note. Well, what is half of 4? 2. Simple math. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So it takes 2 of these notes to equal one whole note. Are y'all with me? I know lasagna's kicking in. And I know it's tiring. But if you're starting to drift away from me, the sailboat is going away. Stand up if you need to, okay? If it helps you to wake up a little bit. All right, so if I take a measure of 2 half notes, these are half notes. The value is how much? Okay.
We don't have to move all of them.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Now, is that better? Tennessee, we say, is that more better? Okay, now, half notes. The value of a half note is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. How would you count this one? Here's a clue for you. Every time you cross one of these, this is a measure bar. Measure bar. Every time you cross a measure bar, you come to 1. Okay? So when I cross this measure bar, I come to 1. I don't care what the note is. Okay? What we're doing is counting music. We're counting how the rhythm goes. All right? So if this is 1, what does this one have to be? 3? But you skipped 2. Where's 2? It's implied in this one. So 2, beat number 2 is here because the value is 2. So if you're on 2, what must you go to? 3. Where's 4? 4 is implied in that note. So you got 1, 3. Does everybody see that? So in rhythm, this would be 1, 3. 2 counts per note. Now you say, why do I count it that way? Well, let me ask you this. When you're singing, okay, when you're singing your hymns, and you have this word right here. Everybody know who that is? It's who? Jesus. Well, let me ask you this. Do y'all go Jesus, or do you go Jesus? You see the difference, right? No, you're going to go Jesus, and so on. Okay, that's the reason we count it in this counting system like that. Now, that's a half note. If we take this down another notch, does anybody know what kind of notes we have? Quarter. Quarter notes. 4 quarters to equal one whole note. What's the value of a quarter note? Is 1. Do y'all see that? Well, it takes 4 quarters to equal $1. Y'all see that? Okay. So in a measure of music, I have 4 quarter notes. 4 notes. How would you count that? All out loud. Ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Simple. Simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. That's easy. Any questions so far? Anybody? I'm going to go another notch. Okay? What are these notes called? Eighth notes. The eighth note, what is the value of an eighth note? Is only half a beat. It takes 2 of those to equal 1 beat. So, if I have a measure of those, I'm not going to write them all up here. Well, I might. A full measure. When you cross this measure bar, what do you got to say?
1.
Always. Okay? If that's 1, what now do I say?
And.
What comes after 1?
And.
Well, 2 comes after 1. Okay? But you got to think here. Okay, self. The value of this note is only half a count. So I can't move to 2. I can't do it. Mathematically, you can't. So we have what we call and. That is what we call the and of 1. The and of 1. So 1 and, what comes after and? 2. This has got to be what? And 3 and 4 and. Does everybody see that? Now, if you do the math here, this equals 1 beat. This equals 1 beat. This equals 1 beat. This equals 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does everybody see that? So you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice, the beat is right here. Boom, there's 1. And is up here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You say, do I see that in the hymn book? Oh yeah. It's all in the hymn book. Okay? All right, good. Now I want to go, any questions before I go any further? So everybody's got counting. Everybody? Now look, normally when I'm teaching, especially young folks, I say, now has everybody got it? Everybody's going. But in their head they're going. Okay, until I tell them to come up here and do it. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Well, before we do that, let's do one more thing. Somebody tell me what this is. That's a dot. That is not Satan. Okay? So the dot. Somebody tell me what a dot does to a musical note, whatever. Yes? It adds half the value. That's correct. That is good. So if I have, now my definition of the dot is the dot adds half the value of whatever it's attached to. Okay? Because the dot can be attached not just to a note. So let's look at it. Say you have this. Now you just told me that the value of this note is how much? Is 2. Well, the definition of the dot, it adds half the value of whatever it's attached to. So that dot you see is attached to that note. What's the value of that note?
3.
Of the note? Is 2. What's half of 2? 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. So that is 3 beats. So you're going to hold that for 1. Then go to the next thing. Except, what if I do this? Some people's definition of the dot is the dot adds half of the note that it's attached to. That's only partially true. And here's the problem with that definition. Are you telling me that that double dotted there is attached to that note? If it is, that's mass confusion. That's not good. So is this dot attached to that note? Is this dot attached to that dot? Or is this note attached to that note and that dot? He says the dot and the note. Well, we got a problem. Because the count here will be completely off. This dot is attached to that dot. What is the value of that dot? Is 1. What's half of 1? Is a half. Do y'all see where I'm going? It subdivides every time. Every time a dot is added, it adds half the value. Another dot, another dot, another dot, another dot, and so on. Now, if I keep adding dots, don't say this out loud. What did I just say? Don't say this out loud. What did I just say? Don't say it out loud. That's what I just said, right? This is a trick question. Not a trick question, a trivia question, if you will. If I keep adding dots, will I ever get to 4? Don't say it out loud. Okay? If I keep adding dots, will I ever get to 4? Okay, we're going to move on. You say, will I ever see a double dot? Yes, you will. It's in your hymn book. Turn to, it is page, in Great Hymns. I should know this by heart. It's page 231. Look at 231. So you may see the double dotted quarter note. How many that's the first time you saw that ever before in your life? And you've sung this song for 45 years. Okay?
We have to take back all we've said in the song because we didn't.
No. Yeah. So you have a double dotted quarter note. Does everybody see that? Well, what is the value of a double dotted quarter note? Let's look at it. A quarter note equals how much? 1. If I put a dot on it, what's half of 1? Is a half. If I put another dot on it, what's half of a half? Is a quarter equals 1 3/4. Everybody see the math there? Y'all see that? Okay. And by the way, how many of y'all know how to read a tape measure? Yeah, American tape measure. Okay. Yeah? There it is. That's a tape measure. You say, what do you mean? There's half an inch. Half takes 2 halves to equal 1 inch, right? That's a whole inch. 4/4 equals 1 inch. Y'all see it? 8/16 or 8/8. We could keep going. 16th notes. It takes 16ths to equal 1 inch. Are y'all with me? 30 seconds. Musically, mathematically, it all fits. Okay? All right, good. Any questions so far?
I knew that metric people were out of
Yeah.
On that song, you first set of notes, you got 2 dots to go this way.
Say, I'm sorry?
You got 2 dots to go this way on that first note.
Uh-huh.
And then you got 2 dots over here. What's the difference?
2 dot, I'm sorry. The dotted 8, yes. Let me show you that. So here, you can have on music, I think what notes they have there. Yeah. They have these notes right here. So you got to watch. See, there's a dot here and a dot here.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not a double dotted 8th note. Are y'all with me? Okay? This dot is for that note. This dot is for that note, which is the soprano and the alto. The only time it's a double dot is if you have this. It would be indicated. Okay? And you'll see that double dot in the next measure there, which is the quarter note, which looks like this. Okay? The double dots are going to be consecutive right together, not on top of each other. Okay? Good question. Very good.
Don't understand the thing I said, but yeah.
Say that again.
I don't understand the thing you said, but yeah, there's 2 dots.
Right. But I just want you to know that that is not a double dotted note.
Okay.
Okay? Now, in some hymn books, these are going to be separated. Let me show you. It'll be like this. You see that's 2 different notes? See, the stem is down for the alto. The stem is up here for the soprano. And that is directional, by the way. Okay? If the stem is up, that's for the soprano. If the stem is down, it's for the alto. Same thing for the tenor. Stem is up, tenor. Stem down, bass. Unless they are joined together like this one is, which is like that. These are joined. They're just taking 2 notes and joining them. Now, why would they do that? Why would they not separate the notes? Words. Because of the words. They're trying to get all the words in there. Okay? You got to remember that the words have a lot to do with how the music is placed. It's just like middle C. Okay? Middle C or the altos. Let me show you an example. Say you have your treble clef. Okay? And say you got words right here. Well, the altos, say if they're going to go down here and hit this note. okay, which the stem would be down or whatever kind of note it is, they're actually in the bass clef. Y'all see that? Because they cross the middle C line. But you're not going to put that note down here on the bass clef. Vice versa. The tenors, watch. The tenors may have this, a high G. Now that's high, but tenors do sing high Gs. But that G is actually right here. Okay? But you're not going to write it up there. If you did, you talk about mass confusion. Because now as a tenor, I've got to read these notes, the words, and then jump up here to get the... I'm going back and forth. You see the problem there? That's why the ledger lines are so important. Especially for the tenor and the alto. Now sopranos will have them sometimes. Sometimes you sopranos get up there and get that. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Good. Any other questions?
I wanted to ask you on that 1 3/4.
Yes.
How do you time that when you're singing it?
Okay. So on 1 and 1, well, let's look at it. Look at 231. Now here, I've not talked about 16th notes. Okay, but I can. Here you're going to go 1 and, 1, a 3 of 1, and so on. So the double dotted quarter note is held 3/4 of a count, and it's a little bit longer than, say, obviously a dotted quarter, but it's 3 a 1, a 3 a 1, 3 a 1. That's how you'd count it. Okay. Now, once you learn the counting system, then the fun part is putting it in tempo. You know what a metrodome is? The old-timey ones, you know, was wooden, and that you set that time just right, and it goes to clicking. Well, that don't change. And you got to stay right with it. What do we do most of the time on Sunday mornings when we start singing a hymn? We start dragging, and it starts dragging, and it starts dragging, and it starts dragging. And then everybody's asleep. Yeah. Okay. You got to mentally prepare yourself. No, stay on the tempo. Stay on the tempo. Okay. All right. Good. So let's do some exercises on the board. By the way, I failed to mention this to you, but did you notice every time you add something to the whole note, it decreases in value? Did y'all see that? You have the whole note equals 4. That's a whole note with a stem. It decreased in value. We colored it in with a stem. It decreased in value. Colored it in with a stem with a flag. It decreased in value. Every time you add something, you decrease in value. Okay? All right? All right, now, let's do an exercise. Now remember, in your hymn book, you'll see something like this. A 4 and a 4. Does anybody know what that means? 4/4 timing. Yeah, but what does it mean? 4 beats per measure. Quarter note gets the beat. Okay? All right, so with that said, now, we're going to count this. Who wants to count it? You want to count it? On my tempo. My tempo. Okay? All right. No. You can stand right there. Now stand up. You ready? 1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1.
Pretty good. He hit the he was hitting those However, I'm going to let one more person go to see if they fixed his mistake. Yes, you ready? 1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 3.
How many think she got it all right? No, she didn't get it all right. She missed. She started missing right here. Anybody else want to try? Anybody? Not all at once. You want to try? Trying? Stand up. 1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 3.
Okay, almost. He missed one spot, and he did exactly what Mr. Klein did. Anybody else want to try? I want you to think here. Think with your brain. Think value. What is the value of each one of these notes? Okay, if this is 1, hold it out for 1 count. If this is only a half, okay, make it a half. If this is 2 beats, I want to hear 2 beats. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2.
Oh, so close. Very close. She missed right here. Okay? Yeah, and right in here. Now, that's better. Anybody else want to try? Thank you for trying. My song, one of my teachers, the way that I learned counting is he made me do it. Okay? He said, stand up and you count it. You know how many times I missed? I missed a lot. But eventually, I wasn't missing because you just get it. Okay? Now let's count this together. Start at the beginning. Remember, I told you cross the measure bar. What do you have? 1, 2, 3. All right, stop. That's easy, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This time I want us to all count it together. Ready? Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice there was no rest in there. You don't break. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see the difference? Okay. Across the measure bar, what do you have? 1 and 2. Why did we not say and here? Because it's a quarter note. But before that is what you got to look at. This one. Beat number 3. See, beat 2 is over. It's over. 2 and. Half plus a half is 1 whole beat. So after that, you're going to say 3. Look at the value. The value, that's 1 beat. So beat 3 is now over. So you have to go to 4. Now the value is 1. 1 beat. Beat 4 is over. Cross the measure bar, what do you come to? 1. Then what? 3, that's right. Because 2 is where? That's right. And 4 is implied. All right, good. Let's count it together. Ready? At the beginning. 1, 2, ready, count.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 3.
Yes, just like that. If you can get this counting system, method, if you will, you can count any song in your hymn book. Any one of them. And you, individually, can get the rhythm of the song. Now, you can set your tempo however fast or however slow, okay? Whatever. But anybody can do this. This is easy, okay? All right, now, let's change it up a little bit. See if we do this. Now, is that going to work? So is the first, let's go in order. First measure, is it going to work? How about the second measure? No. Why? Have an extra quarter note? Does everybody agree with that? Value. Add it all up. Okay, so you're scared about the dot. You're scared. I told you it wasn't Satan. Look, there's 1 beat, right? That's 1.5. Did everybody see that? It's 1.5. That's going to complete beat 2. Do you see it? 1.5 and a half is 2 beats. There's 2 beats. That would be the 3rd beat. That would be the 4th beat. 5 beats. I can't have 5 beats. It'd be incorrect. Okay? Not only that, but your piano player would throw books at you. Okay? All right? So now I know our numbers are off. We'll fix that in a minute. How about this measure? Why will that not work? How many beats? 2 plus 1 is 3. What are we going to have to do? Add something. Like what? Okay, well, we didn't talk about this, but with every note you have a rest. Okay? A quarter rest looks like kind of like that. I call it a blackbird flying sideways with a broken wing. Okay? Okay? Quarter rest. You have eighth rest. You have whole rest and half rest. Half rest is with the box on top of the line. Whole rest is with the box on the bottom of the line. The values are exactly the same as the notes. So the value here is 1. This is a half. This is a half a count, I'm sorry. This is 2. This is 4. Okay? Now, let's just say we put one of those blackbirds flying sideways with a broken wing on there. Okay? Now, let's fix the count. Would you say it's going to be different than our first song that we did? Yes, just by changing a few things. So at the beginning here, what do you have? Across the measure bar? 1, then what? 2, then what? 3. Where's 4? Where? It's inside here because the value, that's 2 beats. Does everybody see that? Okay, so moving on. This is going to be what? 1. Okay, now what? She says 1 and. So you're saying this needs to be and? Now think with me. Think with me. I need your brains. Say it again. 1. You got 2 here. 2 is the dot. She says the 2 is the dot. And that's got to be what? And. She is correct, by the way. So let's look at this. Let me show you a different way to look at it. Now remember, the dot is half of whatever it's attached to. So if this is 1, what kind of note is half of that? Right? I want you to just look at it a different way. So if that's beat 1, is beat 1 over in the quarter note? Yes, because the value of the quarter note is 1 beat. So beat 1 is now over. So what must you go to? 2. So what she just said, 2 is in the dot. Now do you say the 2? No. Why? Because the dot is on the quarter and you're holding it a little bit longer. Now the dot's value here is only half. Now stay with me mathematically, okay? Stay with me. If that's only half of 2, you need the rest of it. Right here it is. That is the and of 2. Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. Everybody with me? So here, you're going to go 1 and, would it be what? That's beat number 3, quarter note. What now? You go to beat 4. Are we done? That measure is complete. So in time, if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4. You see how that works? Okay? Everybody okay? Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take a deep breath. Let it out. All right.
So that's why they don't write a half note in there and put the dot instead.
Say it again.
Because that's why they don't put a half note there and the dot instead, because then you'd have 5 notes in there.
Not a half note.
Right. I'm saying that's why they don't put a half note where the dot is.
Yeah, because they don't want you to hold it for
Have
2.
5 notes in there.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Now, 15 after? Okay. I've got 30 seconds. Okay. Across the measure bar, what do you got? 1. 3. What do you do on a rest? You rest. You go get coffee. You take a vacation. I don't care. But you don't do what? You don't sing. Okay? All right, so you rest on 4 and I always circle it. It's still there. Beat 4 is still there, but you don't say anything. Okay, you got to mentally hear it. All right, good. Let's count this one together, and then we're going to take a little short break, and we got to get to singing. Ready? 1, 2, ready, count.
1, 2, 3, 1 and 3, 4, 1, 3.
Good. I heard one little 4 over there. You're right, but you rest on 4. Okay, count it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 1 and 3, 4, 1, 3.
Good. That's very good. Excellent work. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, take a 10-minute break, and we're going to come back